Hello. Do you have loads of fabric in your stash and no plans? Well, I do. Well, sort of. I have plans now, kinda. We're gonna talk about that. If you want to hear more about stash busting, stick around. Hello. And as the intro suggested, this video is going to be about stash busting. Well, at least this particular video will be about some of the fabric. I went through my fabric yesterday to pull out pieces to talk about today, and I have a lot. Too much, actually. By the way, also, if you're just joining, or if you're coming back to my channel, welcome. I'm Lizzie. This is Killer Kitsch Lizzie. And this is Bunty. And I just wanted to talk about what we're wearing. Bunty is wearing the Aurora bodice, the very basic bodice. I didn't do the overlays. And this fabric came from a store in Toronto called Fabric. I will link below. I'm wearing a very basic bodice. I'll actually put a photo, as opposed to me trying to stand up and show it to you. I will insert a photo right here as we're talking. This is a very basic bodice that I actually created myself. I just one day decided I'm going to try to draft my own bodice, and I did. And I just put a simple gathered skirt onto it with an invisible zip. And it's not fully lined, it has a all-in-one style facing. And then I'll do close-ups of the fabric, both mine and Bunty's. So yes, today is part 2, or the second video from my last vlog about stash busting. And as I said, I went through my fabric. I have many bins. I have too many bins full of fabric, and I'm trying to reduce the amount that I have because it is currently partially under the side table. I'm in my bedroom. My side table, as well as beside my bed, in a bunch of different bins. And it looks messy, and I don't like things when they're too messy looking. I'm a bit of a tidier-upper kind of person, and it drives me nuts seeing this corner full of bins. So, and there's no more room in the closet, which is behind me. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out. But the easiest out is to not buy more fabric right now, use what I have, and if I'm buying fabric, only buy it for very specific projects, like already have a project lined up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the fabric from what I pulled out yesterday, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with it. And then I'm going to stick to that plan. I don't actually have the actual patterns in front of me. I will do pop-ups of those. Just because I know when I try to hold them up to the camera, you can't really see them well enough. So I'll just pop in photos of what I plan on attaching the fabric to as much as I can as possible. And also just updates on things I'm already working on. So I already have cut out and ready to go a Presley shirt for my husband. Fabric, toile fabric for the Elsa culottes, which have been sitting there for a few weeks. And I finally cut out fabric to do the handbag I talked about in the last video, I believe. So, which is also going to be part of some of the fabric I'm going to talk about today. Yeah, below, if you could just let me know how you stash bust. I don't know if what I'm doing is the most efficient way to do it, but it's what came to mind for me to do it. So if you have better suggestions on, how to stash bust, how to control the amount of fabric we accumulate, storage methods that might be better than what I'm currently using. I have seen people like with hangers in a closet, hang fabric together by fabric types, but I don't really have the closet space to do that. This one's full with our clothes and all of my yarn and a bunch of other stuff. We do have a second bedroom with a closet, but that has like our winter coats, and it's the closet we use to swap over our seasons. So right now a lot of our winter clothes are in that closet. So yeah, we don't have space, so this is why I'm trying to get through the fabric I have instead of getting tempted to go and buy more. You know, kind of like shopping your stash. So yes, so that's what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to go through, so I also organized my pile according to amounts, and I have fabric that I've never even used. One of them is fabric I have never, two of them actually, are fabric I've never used. I also, when I tend to buy fabric, I buy way more than I need. For instance, if I'm buying an amount of fabric for a dress, on purpose, like I'm not doing this accidental, I will buy, instead of 3 meters, I will buy 5 or 6 meters with the intentions of, you know, maybe making a matching bolero or doing a top or skirt, like doing separates with it as well, that kind of thing. So, or sometimes I'll buy like a lot of fabric so that, you know, I can make my husband a shirt as well, like a shirt and I'll do a dress kind of thing. A recent example of that, well, this was accidental though. So when I'm doing the Presley shirt, the yoke is going to be a patterned fabric, and then the rest of the shirt is going to be a plain fabric. And I bought this vintage car, like a vintage station wagon with like surfboards and palm trees type of fabric. I'll put a picture. And I thought I only bought enough to do the yoke. I thought I'd bought like a meter, which is actually a lot for a yoke. I actually bought like, I think it was like 4.5 meters. Oh no, 3.5. I bought 3.5 meters of this fabric. I only needed 0.5 meter for the yoke. So I ended up also cutting out a dress for me. And it's another Aurora bodice. And the reason I did that was because I want the pattern to show. Because it's quite, the images are quite large on the fabric. So I have all of that ready to sew. It was a good it was a good stash busting beginning, because I did use up a lot of fabric, and kind of got me in the mood, kind of, you know, in the ready to get stash busting. So please, if you want to join in with me, and if you do, tag me, because then I will like reshare your stash busting. So the pieces I'm going to show right now, there is about 1.5 meters. Oh yeah, that one too there. There's about 1.5 meters of each of these fabrics. Probably not enough to do a full top. However, if I use a contrasting solid fabric with it, I might be able to get away with it. Also, some of this might work for, I'm also filming more Haslam video today. It is possible for the final project for Haslam that I can use some of these bits of fabric, because it is going to be 2 colors. There's going to be like a main color, which could be a floral or print fabric, and then there's going to be like a contrasting yoke. And again, I will put photos of all of this fabric as I'm talking, as opposed to trying to get this camera to focus. I am still figuring stuff out, so maybe I'll be doing it for a year. I don't know. No, I'm getting better each video. I seem to be figuring stuff out. But so I had made a blouse of all of these actually. No, one of them is a dress. I made it, so the fabrics coming up, I've made blouses. So this was a smooth sailing 1940s smooth, or sorry, 1930s smooth sailing blouse from Wearing History. And there, I measured this is about a yard, sorry, not a yard, 1.5 meters left of this. Not even enough to do a Rita blouse, because the Rita blouse, you have to cut some of it on the bias. So there's that one. This was a Rita blouse. I might actually do a matching purse with some of this as well, that the one with the bamboo handles. So that was 1.5 meters. It's a gingham with a little floral print on it, little white flowers. This was also a Wearing History smooth sailing blouse, and I think there's a little more than 1.5 meters here. And this is a black gingham with little flowers all over it, similar to the red one. And again, there's about 1.5 meters here of this one. Not going to be enough to do a full garment, but it would actually be a cute lining fabric too if I ran out. And then quite a while ago, I made a dress with this from the company was called Lila and June, and it's no longer in existence. And I made a beautiful spaghetti strap dress from this with like a shelf bust. However, I found that it came out a little too short for me. I should have gauged better with when I did the gathered skirt, I should have gauged better the length. So what I'm going to do is, there is enough here. I'm actually going to add a ruffle along the bottom, and then I could wear that dress again, because I feel a little uncomfortable wearing it just because it's a couple inches too short for me. It falls like right at my knees. I don't mind if it's a couple inches below my knees, but I need my dresses and skirts to be a little below my knees. Mid-calf is also great, but yeah, it's just a little too short. So I'm gonna do ruffle at the bottom with this. So the next fabrics, there is, I think about 2.5. I think it was about 2.5 meters left, something like that. Or 2 to 2.5 meters, let's say. So this I made, it's from Gertie's Ultimate Dress Book, I believe. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. The two front pieces cross over each other. I've forgotten the name of the pattern. I'll pop it up somewhere. But again, it only took like 3 meters of fabric. I think I bought 5, something like that. I could possibly get a bolero out of this. There is a huge possibility, or do a Rita blouse or some kind of blouse that doesn't eat up a lot of fabric. This is one of the softest fabrics I've ever owned. I wear this dress all the time. Oh, it's called the Surplice. Surplice. I think I'm saying that right. Again, I'll pop something up. Yeah, I wear that dress all the time. I get so many compliments on that dress. It is very flattering in the bust. It's just super comfortable. This fabric helps that. So yeah, I don't know, maybe a top bolero, I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. But yeah, I love this one. This again was I tend to, as you're gonna notice, when I like a pattern, I will make it over and over and over again, especially if it fits me well. This was another smooth sailing blouse. Again, this is a really soft cotton, not as soft as the gray one, but it's a very comfortable cotton. And there is enough here. I don't have a dress to match it, so I'm probably gonna do maybe a Rita blouse. Again, I love the Rita blouses. Or maybe I will use it for, the other option is to use it for, or even this one, actually. Maybe I'll use one of these for the Haslam garments with a contrasting color like a yellow or a white. even a gray or a black. Same with this one, because I actually have purple, a little bit of purple in my stash, a little bit of like a fuchsia pink in my stash. Not enough to do much with, but it would work well for a yoke. This is why I'm doing this video, so I can work out what to do. Oh, and this fabric's inside out, darn it. Okay, so this fabric is the fabric I'm wearing right now, actually. Instead of unraveling the whole thing, because it's going to take me a while. It's the fabric I'm wearing. It's a Hawaiian print. It was made to look vintage. Again, another very comfortable cotton. And I know people are going to go, what do you mean comfortable cotton? I have to tell you, there are cottons out there that are so stiff. I don't even feel like they breathe, but they're marked as cotton. I have done the burn test and they are cotton. But sometimes, like, you know, each fabric acts differently, right? Not all fabrics act exactly the same. Even when you make a dress. Like, I've made this Aurora bodice 3 times now. And each of the fabric fits slightly different. This one has not a lot of give in it, so it fits me tighter. I made a peach one, and that one has maybe a looser weave, and because of that, it fits me looser. And then I have another really super soft cotton one. Again, it fits me looser because the weave is probably much looser. So yeah, each cotton fits differently, right? So each fabric, any fabric, fits differently. You've got to expect that when you're sewing. Anyway, yeah, so I just pulled some of the scraps open. Yeah, it's just such a cute print. Anyway, so this, again, who knows, maybe I'll use it for the Haslam. There is enough here. Or for, again, a blouse that does not take up a lot of fabric, or maybe the Dorothy Bolero from Charm, Gertie's Charm, because there is enough here to do a bolero, and I mean, why not? And then these, oh sorry, this is another one that, this is about, this is, I don't know if this is vintage or not. Actually, I got this one at a yard sale somewhere in my neighborhood. It is possible that it's vintage. Anyway, it's got these beautiful peonies all over it, and then some other violets and some other flower. There's about, again, 2.5 yards here, or meters here, sorry. Gotta stick to a length. Anyway, it is white. I don't tend to make a lot of white for myself because I spill things. But I definitely want to make something with this. Some sort of blouse, definitely. This is going to be a blouse. I don't know what kind of blouse this is going to be, but it is, I checked it too. There are no like holes or anything in it, because I know sometimes vintage fabric, and it does not tear. Like I've done the tear test. It's actually in quite good shape. So that's probably going to be a blouse. These are things that I'm not just going to shove back into my stash, by the way. Even though I'm talking about them, I have them separated, and they are going to get used as I'm doing each new project. I'm not going to buy new fabric, I'm not shoving it back. They're getting used. Okay, so this, there's 3.5 meters left of this. Again, when I bought this, the intention was to make myself a dress and make myself my husband a shirt. When he took a second look at this fabric, he didn't really like it. The print's too big. There's, actually, it's upside down. The flamingos are quite large, so he didn't really like it after I showed it to him a second time. So, yeah, I need to figure something out with this. It's probably going to end up being a bolero and a blouse. The reason I want to do a bunch more boleros, I have done one with the Dorothy pattern, it fits really well. Because in Canada, or in Ontario, Southern Ontario we are, it feels these days, it feels like we have 2 seasons. We have winter, then we have summer. And we only have a tiny bit of spring and a tiny bit of fall. And because of that, I want to like extend the wear of the clothes I make, because I tend to make a lot of sleeveless dresses or like spaghetti strap dresses as opposed to long sleeve dresses, because I can throw cardigans over, and if it's not quite too cold yet, I could like at least put a bolero on top. So also at night sometimes it does cool down here, right? So that is that. And then I have one final fabric. This fabric is from IKEA. My friend Lori and I went to IKEA when we discovered that they sold fabric. And not only sold fabric, but it was inexpensive. Like, I think they were having a sale, so it could have been $3 or $4 a yard. And I gotta tell you, I bought a whole bunch of blue to do trousers. I think it ended up being 7.5 meters, or sorry, yards. IKEA is yards. And then I bought this with the intentions of making a dress. And when I got home and I felt it again, it's too heavy. It's way too heavy for a dress. I know a lot of the fabric that they sell there is meant for upholstery and not garments. So this is not going to become a dress or even a blouse. It's just too heavy. It could become a skirt, no problem. Trousers, like a pair of culottes or something like that. But what I would like to do, because I think there is 6 yards here, I'm almost positive. I haven't unfolded this since I bought it. And that was pre-pandemic. When we went to IKEA to buy this fabric. That's how long I've had it in my stash. And yeah, so what my plans for this, 100%, I'm not even like guessing of what I'm going to do with this. I'm making a coat, and I'm going to, there's probably going to be enough left here to make a matching pencil skirt. And I have a 12 for a pencil skirt that I've started, and I just need to tweak it. So more than enough here. So what the coat is, I'm either going to do, because there is enough fabric, a long swing coat from Gertie's Patreon from a few years ago, or the shorter version. I'm going to do a toile, and I'm going to do like for the full coat and see how I like that length, and then I'll like pin it up to the shorter coat to see how I like that. So 100%, and this is going to be for the fall. Even though the colors are not really fall, they're more like spring, but they're crazy cut. The pattern is crazy and I love it. So there's the stash. And there's the almost plans. But like I said, all of that is getting used. I'm not putting it back. And as a matter of fact, when I'm done with this video, I'm going to go make notes and pin a note to each one of these bits of fabric, noting what it's going to be. So that is all of the fabric for now. There will be another video, again, once I get through all of this fabric. Then I'll do a third video, fabric stash video, and in that video I'll talk about that lot of fabric. I even found a couple of bits of flannel, so by the time I get through this it will be time to do some fall sewing, so I'll use the flannels then. And coming a little bit later, probably starting September, I'm going to start doing a yarn stash busting, because I have to get through the yarn that's in that closet. It's taking up way too much space, and it's not necessarily going to be for garments for me. It could actually be garments for other people. I have been knitting a lot for my husband, and I knit as gifts now. So that probably in September I'll start talking about that. So that is the fabric for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. Please give this a thumbs up. Please let me know in the comments below if you're going to join in with my stash busting adventures and what you plan on doing. Or again, if you have suggestions on how to get better at storing fabric, using up fabric, stopping yourself from buying more fabric, let me know in the comments below. Oh, Oh, and the other thing I was gonna do is I'm going to do a Q&A video. A lot of people have asked me to do that. They've sent me questions, so I think it would be good to do a Q&A video. So if you have questions for the Q&A video, leave them below and just start the comment with question for Q&A video and then your question. And then I will compile everything, and when I have enough for a video, I'll do a video with that. So as I said, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next video. Stay kitschy. Bye-bye.